Hello, everyone. Jim Brown here. Sorry that due to travel, I could not speak live on the daily objectives. So here's a 5-minute introduction to my forthcoming course on money creation and its consequences, which starts Saturday, September 16th at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I think it's 3 p.m. GMT. I would like to say a few words about why I think you'll benefit from taking this course, which I'm calling Money Creation, a Black Hole in Economics. Sound money, that's money that's widely accepted in commerce and holds its value over time, is essential for economic progress and human well-being. Most of us take sound money for granted because for most of our lives, money has functioned fairly well for us. But today, sound money is under threat. Government spending and deficits are out of control. Banks are in trouble. Rising prices are grinding down everyone's standard of living. Our monetary system seems to be in crisis, but no one seems to know what to do. So what is happening to our money? This course will provide answers. Like anything else that's traded in the economy, money must be produced or created. So understanding money starts with understanding how and where it comes into existence and what happens as it spreads through the economy. Despite the importance of the topic, very few people understand money creation, which is why I call it a black hole in the universe of economic knowledge. Practically no one gets it. And this includes most investors, journalists, policymakers, and even professional economists. Their most common explanations are just simply wrong, so we can't rely on the usual designated experts to give us answers. So it's time, I think, for the average person to understand money better, starting with how and where it's created. Money creation can be productive and beneficial, or wasteful and inflationary. Knowing the difference can benefit you both as a citizen and as an investor. As a citizen, getting a fundamental understanding of money creation is the first step in knowing how to return to a system of sound money. Then when the next big crisis hits, you'll know how to identify the best thinkers who can introduce some much needed monetary reform. But on a more personal level, as a saver or an investor, a fundamental understanding of money creation and its consequences will help you reduce the impact of inflation on your investment portfolio and allow you to accumulate wealth despite money's declining purchasing power and despite the financial repression that is now descending upon us. Now, as far as I know, you're not going to find information presented in this course anywhere else in a single source. And I know this because I had to piece it all together from many sources over a period of about 5 years. That alone should tell you how confused the world is about money creation and that it's time to clear things up. This course consists of 9 sessions of 60 to 90 minutes each. It's aimed at those who are reasonably well educated and who are simply interested in this topic. The course is entirely self-contained. No formal background in finance or economics is necessary. No homework or outside reading is required, but I will provide many suggestions for some supplemental reading that will deepen your understanding if you have the time. Okay, now let me now take a couple of minutes for those still with me here to describe the course in more detail. Session 1, Introduction and Course Overview, will explain how money creation is so misunderstood and what are the intellectual and psychological barriers to understanding it and how to break down those barriers. We'll look at how modern economists have understood money creation, including the surprising fact that many free market economists are misinformed about it. And we'll also, in this introductory lesson, cover a few key terms and concepts that will be essential to understanding. I will also introduce some good outside reading sources for those who are inclined to, dive right into the deep end. The meat of the course can then be divided into 3 parts: plus an epilogue. The first part, classes sessions 2 and 3, will establish the framework for modern money creation. Session 2, money creation then and now, will show the surprising similarities and the crucial differences between money creation under a gold standard and under our current fiat reserve standard. Here, we're going to lay down the fundamental method that banks have always used to organize credit into what we call money. In session 3, money from nothing, with a question mark, will apply the principles learned in session 2 to fully understand money creation in the modern economy. And by modern economy, I mean the modern welfare state, which in my view formally began in 1933 when the United States abandoned the domestic gold standard. All right, the second part of the course, sessions 4 and 5, will deal with the legitimacy of modern money creation. Under what conditions does money creation contribute to a robust, progressing economy? Then session 4 is called Good Money Creation. The capitalist money factory makes the case that even under our modern fiat reserve money system, money creation can be a positive economic force promoting non-inflationary growth. This session introduces an important concept, the Cantillon effect, to explain what happens to prices when new money enters the economy. Session 5, Bad Money Creation, employs two prominent historical examples to explain how politicians and bureaucrats can hijack the banking system to undermine economic progress. Session 5 also conveys the key insight that unproductive money creation caused by government influence that comes in various forms is the cause of price inflation, asset bubbles, wasted capital, and unjust economic inequality, among other economic maladies, let us say. Then the third part, sessions 6 and 7, address the important consequences of our current monetary disorder. Session 6, Uncle Sam's Unpayable Debt, outlines how excessive money creation initiated by the U.S. Federal Reserve through control of its member banks has enabled the U.S. government to pile up a mountain of unpayable debt that threatens to destroy the soundness of the dollar. Session 7, which I call The Disease and the Cure, introduces the concept of financial repression by developing a counterintuitive insight, namely that the politicians who have exploited our money creation system to burden us with unpayable debt will very likely create even more money to pay down that debt. Then session 8, Surviving Financial Repression, is the payoff lesson, in which we'll discuss practical strategies to endure and perhaps even prosper in the financial repression that's already underway. This session will provide basic guidance for saving and investing in an era of high inflation, low real interest rates, and slow economic growth, a condition often called stagflation. Now, even though I won't offer detailed or personal investment advice, I hope that by understanding what government is likely to do with money creation, you can create your own saving and investment strategy to avoid the worst consequences of financial repression and even prosper in the years ahead despite the challenging times. Now, our last class, session 9, is called A Nobel Laureate's Blunder, and in that we'll dissect Paul Samuelson's version of fractional reserve banking, which has been endorsed by most economists who do accept that the banking system creates money. The term fractional reserve banking, which Samuelson applied to his version of money creation, became the standard explanation of money creation. If you learned fractional reserve banking in a college course, this version is almost certainly what you were taught. But if this is what you were taught, it was wrong or misleading in many respects. Now, we'll also have time in session 9 for a course wrap-up, for final questions, and a discussion about further investigation into the subject of money creation. Okay, that is my summary and introduction. Daniel can tell you how to sign up for the course. Thanks for listening. and I hope to see you in class. Cheers.